But before I continue, I would want to greet my fellow worker in the DILG who is celebrating his birthday today, Undersecretary Martin Dino. So yun po, no? Makita ninyo, before it was just purely PIDEA, it was purely PNP. Ngayon po, we have the ICAD. The ICAD is an encompassing executive order designating us na lahat daw dapat kami sabay-sabay gumagalaw. What is the role then of the barangay in the war against illegal drugs? Why am I emphasizing on the barangay? Narinig niyo ba kanina? One of the basis for the war in illegal drugs is the barangay drug clearing. I want the city councilors here to understand the new JMC or Joint Memorandum Circular between the DTP and DILG. What is the role of the barangay in the war against illegal drugs? Next slide. Next slide, please. Simply to organize anti-drug abuse council, wait for it, and make it functional. Naalala po ninyo, organize lang. When I was the barangay captain din, kahit si Rani Ludovica din was a barangay captain, hindi naman ho namin pinapansin ang badak. Wala sa policy natin yung badak. Alam ko yung badak, pero hindi ko alam kung paano ko galawin yung badak. Ang sinabi lang sa amin, maglagay kami ng pangalan, maglagay ng pondo, submit nyo lang, that's it. Kasi lang naman nakalagay sa batas. Ang tanong, yun na ba yun? Tapos na ba tayo? Hindi po. Hindi tayo natatapos doon. It must be functional. So how can you say it's functional? Next slide, please. The President said in his SONA yesterday, or the other day, the war against illegal drugs is far from over. The illegal drug war will not be sidelined. Instead, it will be relentless and chilling. Ayaw pa rin magpatawad. Ayaw pa rin magpahinahon ng ating Presidente. Tuloy pa rin. Next slide. What did our Secretary said? We will apply the full force of the law and appropriate actions against these drug syndicates and criminal groups to include their protectors and supporters, especially government officials and employees who are unfortunately involved in illicit activities. That is why Secretary Anyo, next slide, asked me to file cases together with Usec against barangays in the Ombudsman. And these are the list of barangays. Ito yung mga hindi ho nag-organize. Next slide. So these are the list of barangays who we filed in the Ombudsman. Ito lang ho yung organized, hindi nag-organize. Pag sinabi hindi nag-organize, hindi nag-submit ng mga pangalan ng komposisyon ng badak, hindi nagbigay ng pondo, naglaan ng pondo, at ang kanilang plano. That's it. Hindi naman mahirap po yun, di po ba? Hindi pa rin ginawa, so we filed the case. Next slide. How many number of organized badaks and adaks in NCR? Di ba NCR po to? NCR, no? For this quarter, so far, have organized their badak. Next slide. NCR, more or less, 100%. Takot makasuhan siguro. So they are now 100%. Next slide. Next slide. Question. How do you make your batak functional? Yan yung tanong. Kasi nakalagay lang naman sa batas, di po ba? Organized lang. But how do you make it functional? Ito yung hinihingi sa amin ng PNP at PIDEA to make it work. Ito yung listahan na sinasabi. Next slide. Secretary Anyo and Secretary Puy signed a joint memorandum circular number 1 series of 2018 which says badak functionality indicators. Kasama ko yung ADAC dyan, ha? ADAC and badak functionality indicators. Ibig sabihin, ano ba ang basihan na functional na tayo? Next slide. Yan po, 1 to 10. Steps 1 to 10. In short, 100 points. Hindi ko muna i-discuss yung ADAC, ha? Badak lang ko muna. Next slide. What is step 1? Simply, organize your badak 10 points po yan. Composed of 7 members. Kasama po ba lahat ng kagawad? Opo, isasama na po natin lahat. Hindi pwede 3 lang. Lahat ng kagawad kasama. Okay? Should have 2 committees. Next slide. Next slide, please. Badak desk. Kung may women's desk, dapat may badak desk. 5 points. And should have at least 2 duty officers. Why badak desk? Dahil ang DOH po nagre-reklamo kung bakit wala, pag bumibisita sila sa mga barangay, wala nagbibigay sa kanila ng report kung ilan ang na-rehab, ilan ang na-surrender, ilan ang surrendering. So they don't have any information. That's why there should be a badak desk with 2 duty officers. 5 points. Step 3. There should be a house clusters with designated cluster leader. Ano po to? Hindi po ba sa barangays natin sa NCR, may mga malalaking barangay, di po ba? A good example, yung barangay ni Van Lucina, ni Rani. Di po ba sa isang malaking barangay, may tinatawag na sitio at purok pa? Di po ba? Sitio at purok. Yung sitio at purok, cluster mo yun. Kailangan may cluster leader. Kasi hindi ho lahat ng barangay sa buong Pilipinas para pareho ang populasyon. Pag malaki, kailangan may cluster head ka. Pag maliit ka lang, o 2,000, tama na yun, okay na. 5 points. Next slide. Step 4, ito na ho. Badak auxiliary team, 5 points. Ano po yan? Di ba 20 ang tanod? Dagdagan nyo ng 5, that's 25 batak auxiliary team. Is that important? Yes. Sila yung informants ninyo. Sila mga mag-i-implement ng inyong plano. 5 points. Next slide. Step 5. Badak plan. Ito po, 10 points. Mahalaga pong tinitingnan. What is the badak plan? Titingnan ho dyan kung ano yung strategies ninyo at maagkano ang nilaan yung pondo. Next slide. An example of which, ng example ng badak plan, yan po. Okay? Why am I explaining you this? Because as city councilors, you will be approving their budget. Hindi mo ba? Kayo mag-approve ng budget nila eh. So you should be seeing all of these things. Next slide. Step 6, ito na po mga kaibigan, allocation of funds. Under the law, ang sinabi lang po, substantial amount. Hindi ko sinabing 5%, 10%, kaya ng God, hindi po ba? 5, what substantial amount? Ito po, pag-uusapan ninyo ng sangguniang panglusod. Pag nagpasa ang barangay sa inyo ng budget ng kanilang bata, kayong makakaalam kung yung barangay ninyo, barangay na yun, ay highly affected ng drugs. At titingnan ninyo kung yung budget nila ay sapat para patakbuhin yung kanilang plano. Kung nararamdaman ninyo bilang mga konsehal na itong barangay na to, iniloloko kami, na yung napakarami ng kanilang adik, samantalang ganito lang ang kanilang pondo, huwag nyo ipasa ang kanilang budget. Kasi, nakalagay sa batas, you cannot just pass an annual budget if the BADAC plan is not approved or the BADAC allocation of fund is not properly provided for. So the substantial amount will be your discussion and your discussion in this afternoon's event hour. Next slide. Step 7, ito po mahalaga. Advocacy campaigns. Because we're not just the enforcement. Nakakaligtaan nila enforcement lang. No. There's a saying, an ounce of prevention is better than cure. So we focus now on the school. Pasukin nyo yung eskwelahan. The barangay should go into the school, talk to the principal, have an advocacy campaign inside the school. Kung ayaw papasukin ng random testing sa Quezon City, pasukan nyo nila ng advocacy campaign sa loob. In the same way, the community, ganun rin. Very important, 15 points. Because we're not just focusing on enforcement, we're also focusing on advocacy. Next slide. Step 8. Ito po, akala po nila ng mga oposisyon and the European Union and perhaps the United Nations that we're only good in enforcement. No. Akala ho nila, we're just focusing on enforcement. I think General of Quezon City District is here, no? Oh, we just had a meeting yesterday. No, we're not just on enforcement. We're also focusing on rehabilitation because the war in illegal drugs is not just on the enforcement, may rehabilitation. At for the first time, alamin niyo sa akin o hindi, mga kapitan tayo before, wala tayong community-based drug rehab sa barangay program, di ba? Wala. Ito ang kauna-unahan. This will be institutionalized. We are now requiring all barangays to create their own community-based drug rehab. Paano? Paano to? By next week, we will be issuing a joint memorandum circular by DILG and DBB yung paanong guidelines kung paano kayo gagawa ng community-based. And let me tell you this right now. I would want to congratulate the city of Quezon City through the efforts of Vice Mayor Joy Belmonte and of course Mayor Herbert Bautista. Dahil sa Quezon City model namin nakuha, yung model ng Quezon City ang pinattern po namin to use as one guidelines for all to follow. So I think we should give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. So, mahalaga po to, yung drug clearing operations na sinasabi. Ito yung basihan ng PNP PIDEA. Ito yung sinihingi yung mga listahan ng mga addict at pushers. So ito yung mahalaga. 15 points. Next slide. Ito na yung sinasabi kong community-based drug rehab. You should have your own community-based drug rehab. Kaya nga po, di ba, mga konsihal, tingnan nyo po yung budget ng mga konsihal ng mga barangay kung may community-based drug rehab silang pondo para doon. Okay? Next slide. And step 10, 5 points, conduct monthly meeting, 5 points. For a total of 100 points. Next slide. Pag hindi kayo umabot, ang kailangan 51 pataas. If you're 50 and below, kakasuhan na naman po namin kayo. Kasama si Usec Dino. Baka si Usec Dino na lang mag-isa. Hindi na ako isasama ni Usec Dino. Who will be filing cases for the barangays. Okay? Pero, kapag maganda naman ang performance, next slide, bibigyan naman namin kayo ng award. Baka we're also in the search for the most outstanding bata. Hindi ko po sinama dito yung ADA kasi hahaba yung discussion ko. I'm only limited to 20 minutes. Yung ADA po, kaparehas lang rin. Pero ang kailangan po gawin ng konseho, ng city, kailangan itayo ninyo ang Balay Silangan. Yan yung counterpart na community-based drug rehab ng city. At kung kakayanin ng NCR, itayo nyo na ang inyong kanya-kanyang drug rehabilitation center. Why? Because NCR is the most rich cities, as the most rich cities who can afford to do so. And I think we already had the manage of discussion sa NCR. Halos karamihan naman kaya Nagkaroon naman ng discussion. And I think the other mayors agree on it. By the way, in Quezon City alone, may drug rehab sila. Tanungin mo sila, pumipila pa ang mga taga Quezon City kasi ang nakikita nila, taga-ibang lugar na. Di ba? Sa Taguig, ganun rin. May community, may drug rehabilitation ng Taguig, pero pumipila ang mga taga-Taguig. Hindi ba sa nakakapasok kasi nauna yung mga ibang lugar. Kaya, ang ini-encourage po namin ngayon, lahat ng city should have its own Balay Silangan or community-based drug rehab and drug rehab. Okay? We are doing this to also answer yung plea bargaining. Ano yung plea bargaining? Marami ho, bago pakawalan, no? Before, in our law, bawal ang plea bargaining. Ngayon, pinayagan na ng Korte Suprema. Kaya ang daming nakulong dahil sa illegal drugs na gusto mag-avail ng plea bargaining. Ang problema, nakalagay sa batas, kailangan lumangang ka sa community-based drug rehab. Eh, paano namin palalabasin na hindi nyo tinatayo ang community-based drug rehab? So again, this is intertwined. Pag bumalaw ang enforcement, may problema ang jail. Sobrang dami. So para lumabas, kailangan ang community tumulong. Magtayo ng community-based drug rehab, ang city magtayo rin ng balay sila. So this is all intertwined all together. And I agree with our sponsors here, nasa rehabilitation pa lang tayo, boss. Wala pa tayo sa reintegration. When I say reintegration, I think Las Piñas and Pasig has already given programs on reintegration. Paano nyo ipapasok ang mga addict na rehab sa mga trabaho? Siguro you could create ordinances allowing your businesses, establishment, to cater to rehabilitated addicts para makapagtrabaho. That's reintegration. And we will measure you on that. Hindi ko na pagkakahabaan. I'm sure there are other speakers to speak for this. This is more or less, next slide, more or less the policy of the government and what we're trying to do right now. The fight against illegal drugs will continue because that is the root cause of so much evil and suffering that weakens the social fabric and deters foreign investments from pouring in. So, I'm blessed, we're so blessed that the President is here putting so much pressure into this. Dahil kung hindi na ginawa ito, hindi namin maayos itong mga problema ito. Ultimo ang kapulisahan aminado with this new setup and system that we're doing, napapadali ang trabaho. So, let's make the most out of it before he ends his term. Let's institutionalize everything so that whoever sits in the next term as president will benefit from the good system that we are now creating. So again, in behalf of Secretary Anyo and President Rudy Duterte, mabuhay po kayong lahat at mabuhay ang Republika ng Pilipinas.